Hello, my name is Dan Dybowski, and I am doing the ASQ3 Biopsychosocial Assessment Questionnaire video. So this was basically done for my daughter. She was born at the beginning of the semester, so this is pretty important for me to be able to do this for her as a sort of keepsake, a reminder that Daddy's working hard to become a social worker for her and our family. The initial question for the video assessment is, what are the implications to social work of understanding your child's development? Well, initially, as a result of the ASQ3 questionnaire, which is a great questionnaire. It's a working hypothesis at best. What I like about it is that it highlights some important aspects of some things that you may want to look at with focus as your child develops, or another person, whoever it is you're doing the assessment on. It's important to understand that it's a good working hypothesis. It's by no means something that is concrete, so as to create a sort of shock effect for people to find out that, hey, I scored really low on this and I need some help and assistance from somebody right away. It's a hypothetical situation, because in our situation, my daughter is only 5 weeks old, and the earliest one that I could use was the 2-month questionnaire. Now, having said that, there may or may not be veracity associated with the assessment. Having said that, that was the one that I was limited to in her analysis. So it did raise some concerns with me, but not too much. The biological aspect of the biopsychosocial element is that she has a heat rash.
Sorry.
And here she is.
Aww. Yeah. You started.
Yeah. Baby Isa. Oh. We call her Smushy. Look at that face. Love you, baby.
Aww.
But you can see some of the heat rash on her cheek, too. Trying to clear up. Our pediatrician told us that we should be using petroleum jelly only and no other products. So we've been trying to do that, and we're going to get her assessed again in a week. Thanks, baby. So that's the only concern right now, is the heat rash, and I know this is Arizona. It's going to be hot, so that's going to be a concern that I'm going to have. Just to try to moderate that and see if we can get that taken care of. So the interesting thing that I learned about applying the social work to my daughter's development since the beginning of this course, she was born on August 22nd, so right when we began, the craniofacial morphology was very intriguing to me, because I never stopped to really consider the effects, and we've seen some of the pictures in Ashford et al., and that was very intriguing to me. I think I've done it too in one of our assignments. Just the snapshots of before and after. It's kind of interesting. So the behavior patterns as well have changed. So the whole psychological assessment of my daughter, and going from cooing to babbling, these are things that I probably wouldn't even have considered hadn't I taken this assessment. So I'm enthralled that this has enabled me to prepare myself for social work in such a way that I can practice this sort of thing, and on my daughter conveniently for this keepsake for her. So hopefully over time the psychological assessment and the biological assessments they get better over time with some assistance. Fingers crossed. But like I said, it's a working hypothesis, so we will certainly do whatever it is we can to continue to use these ASQ tests as she ages to see if indeed they do have accuracy and they're valid and reliable. So we want to be able to make sure that we're doing our best as parents to continue to see her progress in all aspects of the biopsychosocial. Is the ASQ a good tool to use with populations of the Southwest? Now, it's hard for me to tell. I have mentioned one key point about the Southwest, and that is it's hot here. And if it affects her in such a way where she gets these continuous heat rashes, then that's a biological facet of her life so far early on that may or may not affect her psychology. I have no idea if it will or not. This is all just tentative at this point, but we are at least informed as parents as to what it is we might be able to do to mitigate these problems. What did I learn from the experience? Reflect on my experiences. Through the experiences that I've had, I noticed some advancements in our biopsychosocial assessment, and it was a good system to practice. And I think that with that practice, we are going to be undoubtedly relying on this practice of the biopsychosocial assessments throughout the social work program. And I do intend to practice it and impute it on other situations whenever I get a chance, just to practice and get some practice under my belt so that I can eventually master it. So hence master's degree, right? Well, hopefully that summarizes my video element to the ASQ questionnaire and the BHP program. All right.